Okay, I think we are live. Happy New Year, everybody. We got one person on the stream. Hopefully, more will join. Um, if you are able and willing, feel free to throw the link to the stream up into the Facebook groups. I am sure people forgot about it. I posted it a couple days ago. That's just human nature. But I try to be as prompt with these things as I can. We had a little computer problem this morning, but we got it sorted out, so no worries there. Happy New Year, Trevor. Thanks so much for joining, my friend. I hope you guys can see this shirt. This is a freaking awesome shirt. These turned out so cool. This is a shirt I worked with Kyle T. He's an independent artist. You can buy these on the website, thedrinkpro.com. These are just freaking awesome. And I've got another one. This one here is obviously the alien stealing the barrel. It's based on the Little Green Men story, one of the alien abduction stories in Kentucky, but Hopkinsville, Kentucky. Yolanda has informed me from the kitchen. So yeah, I mean, I honestly think this might be my favorite piece of merch we've made thus far. We've made some really cool merch, but I love these shirts. They turned out great. So consider buying it. It helps support independent art. It's not just all going to me. I am an independent artist, but it's not just all going to me. Kyle put in a lot of time and effort on these shirts, so I feel very compelled to plug them. And we've got the little squirt is here. Want to say Happy New Year to you all. She's just trying to figure out where she is and what's going on. She has to go potty, but she's not going to go because it's sleeting outside. So, welcome to 2021. And Yolanda is on her way. So, welcome to 2021. We did it. We survived another year. The worst year. Yeah, particularly a bad, hard to deal with, I'll say, I guess, year. But I'm optimistic about 2021. We've got a lot of cool stuff happening with the channel. And, I think that just doing this kind of Friday morning thing is a little unorthodox. I don't see a lot of whiskey tubers do that. I don't see a lot of drinking channels do that. But I felt like this is a fun way to kick off the new year, kick off 2021.
They don't do it because they're hungover.
Well, I'm hungover too. So it's hard to stream when you're hungover, but we're gonna make it work. Damn it, I'm here to kick it off right. I'll tell you what. I'm gonna go ahead and jump into the first review. Did you rinse those? Because they look pretty.
Soap.
Yeah, they look pretty bad. So, nothing better to celebrate the new year than champagne. Now, I know I'm typically thought of as a whiskey channel, but I'm a drinking channel, the Drink Pro. And that's one of the things that's going to be changing a little bit in 2021. Now, don't get nervous because I'm still going to be making one whiskey video a week, typically bourbon, but I will explore other whiskeys. But I actually kind of want to say one bourbon video a week because it's a lot more firmly in the bourbon category. I think there will probably be a couple weeks where I make like a bourbon video and then a more exotic for United States purposes whiskey, like something from India or Taiwan or what have you. But I'm going to be doing basically one traditional whiskey or bourbon video a week, and then one video that goes a little bit beyond into other territories. I'm thinking I'll probably start with some things that are whiskey adjacent, maybe cocktails, or one video I'd really like to do in the near future is something talking about the different kinds of cognac and Armagnac, since those are very commonly used as finishing products. Those barrels are, whiskey's finished in those barrels all the time, and those products are becoming more and more popular on the market. So that's the kind of thing I'm hoping to talk about and sort of expand the knowledge base. And I'm thinking this will be really helpful for my classic whiskey viewers because you might learn something about cognac or champagne or wine or tequila, whatever, that will inform your whiskey drinking. Or you might find a new spirit you like. But I also hope it'll bring other people who are already enjoying these other spirits and who don't think they're whiskey people and don't think they can enjoy whiskey. I hope that'll help bring them into the community and they will find some whiskey they like. It's a cross-pollination strategy. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. we'll see how it goes. So, all that preamble, today we are starting off with a pretty solid bottle of champagne. Now, I think a lot of people had some champagne last night. I think a lot of people probably had too much champagne last night. Yolanda and I had a little tiny bottle, courtesy of her mom. Shout out, Carol. But
I'm gonna call her
no, mama. But
no mama made us breakfast.
yeah, we also have courtesy of Gnome. Is Gnome Mama?
Yeah.
Courtesy of the Gnome Mama. That is a real mouthful. I feel like I got peanut butter in there. Courtesy of the Gnome Mama, we have breakfast as well. But I also was drinking some Van Winkle 10-year last night, and then Stag Junior till I passed out because that's apparently how I live. Trevor's going to go with all whiskey, no champagne here. Well, there's no problem with that. There is some whiskey off screen too. I'm not just going to drink champagne for this whole stream, but I did want to do a sort of more traditional style review of the champagne and talk a little bit about champagne because this is the time of year people have champagne on the brain. Most other days of the year, people don't really think much about champagne. How the hell do I open this? It's going to be really embarrassing if I can't open this on camera. But I see the little threadings, but I don't see where I can pull to open it. Great start, guys. This is the time of year people are actually thinking about champagne. Pretty much all the rest of the year, champagne isn't on the brain. But I've got a fun one. This is not your average champagne. Because it's something called grower's champagne. Now, grower's champagne does have a lot more restrictions than something like craft whiskey. Craft whiskey and craft beer are sort of notoriously vague terms and can mean pretty much whatever you want them to mean. Grower's champagne has a little bit more of a restriction. And I'll show you some ways to identify grower's champagne here in a moment. And you can look this information up so that you can have it at your fingertips while you were at the store. Luckily, I had Joseph Davey from Vine and Table, who was the human, not Rolodex. God, how old am I? He was the human. He was the human Google.
How old are you?
I'm not old enough to have ever used a Rolodex, but that's how it's going on a Friday morning after a New Year's party. Party for 2 and then party for 1 upstairs. Yeah, so the human Google, thanks, Joseph. He helped me pick out a good one, I think. I am a mess. I'm always a mess for these streams, but in particular today.
There is no room for me or food.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry, girl. I just kicked the dog. That's not great. Sorry, girl. There's room for you. There is no room for food, really. You can maybe put it like right there. In my water. So, grower champagne. Grower champagne is essentially grown with estate grapes, is sort of the classic demarcation. Yeah, some people might just be getting up. We slept till 10. I kind of figured that, honestly, Trevor, but I'm kind of going with the champagne one first, and then I'm going to get into the other whiskeys. So I'm thinking that when people wake up and arrive, I'll be drinking whiskey probably, but I might still be drinking champagne. We don't know. I don't know how good this thing is. We'll give it a shot.
I hope it's good.
It better be good. Well, I'm sure it's good. I'm not sure if it will agree with my palate. How about that? That's how like the Wild Turkey Bottled and Bond 17 years is a great example of that. Like, do not be ashamed if you don't really like something that's supposed to be really good. A lot of people love that. Some people swore by it. Tipsy is it Barkeep? I want to make sure I get his name right. I think it's Tipsy Barkeep on Instagram. Could be Tipsy Bartender, but I'm pretty sure it's Tipsy Barkeep. He chose the Chateau de Le Bon as his whiskey of 2020, the number 1
whiskey.
Yeah, and he, has tried a lot.
Whiskey?
Yeah, I'm talking about whiskey.
Oh.
He has tried all kinds of fancy rare stuff, and he still picked something relatively available at the time when it first came out. It's all gone now, but it was a limited run. So, palates are individual. Always remember that. Anyway, I'm not gonna eat that yet. Oh! Whoa!
How much shaking of it did you
I didn't
do?
even. I didn't.
Pour it so you doesn't waste.
Damn it! That's not how this was supposed to go! Please hurry with the towel.
Well, we're awake now.
God damn it. Happy 2021, everybody.
Obviously, this is going just as well as our 2020.
Oh my God.
Trevor thought it was fun.
I'm glad Trevor enjoyed that. Oh my. I was even gonna do a whole thing about like how to open champagne gently. Joke is on me. I barely got that. That is also why they put these metal things on, if you ever wondered. Now you know, because as soon as I untwisted that, the whole thing shot up. Wow. Just wow. So yeah, my notebook is ruined with my checklist in it.
You can still read it, maybe.
Yeah. Happy New Year. Now you'll notice the color is a little bit different than maybe you're used to with a sparkling wine or a standard champagne. That is because here, just give it to me. I'll sit on this towel. That is because this particular champagne. I'm gonna butcher all of these names. The Jean Vezel, I believe is how you say that. This is, like I was saying before it exploded in my face. This is a.
You're lucky you didn't get the cork in your face.
I am lucky I didn't get the cork in my face because it came in hot. I'm all shaken up. So this is grower champagne, which means that in this case it is family grown. There are 3 different classifications of grower champagne, but the one that's sort of traditionally known as grower champagne is family grown, which means it's the same people that are making it. It's an estate. They just use the grapes on the estate. In fact, to be considered family grown, which there are sort of 3 different terms you'll see. The one for this is let me make sure I get it right. Recollant manipulant, RM. And you'll know for sure whether or not it's recollant manipulant. Let me see if I can get close enough. Right there. Right down here where they have all the listings about the information, there's a little barcode. It's not focusing quite enough, but it says RM and then gives you the barcode. So they label all their champagne with those. And if you see a different set of letters, you can look that up and figure out what it means. Sometimes some of the larger estates have sort of like separate operations that do grower champagne. That's much more like Method and Madness in the whiskey world, which is owned by a huge conglomerate Irish whiskey company, but it's sort of a separate on its own distillery within it. They also have cooperatives that grow champagne. And I believe they use the CM moniker in that corner. So you can kind of keep track based on those letters, where the champagne's coming from, what kind of process is being used. The nice thing about this particular is, I'm gonna butcher all of this. It's Jean Vessel Eau de Perdi, Eau de Perdi.
Yeah, I think that's probably
It's brut
close.
champagne. Now, brut champagne is the driest of the 3 types of traditional champagne. There's doux, there's Doux sec, there's brut. Brut's the driest stuff. You might think you want something sweeter because you're like, oh, I like sweet flavors. You probably don't. Brut is probably going to be sweet enough for you, unless you just like really sickly syrupy sweet. Hit those S's, that semblance. Anyway, so the Eau de Perdue is entirely Pinot Noir grapes. And the region this is being grown in is sort of known for Pinot Noir grapes and for other kinds of red grapes generally. So it's unique. It's a champagne being made with red grapes that are then macerated slightly and aged for 3 years. The Vasile family has been growing these grapes on this estate for over 300 years. I had more information I was going to write down, but I ran out of time. So that's all you get for now. I hope to do another episode in the future, a more classic episode of my show, comparing a couple different champagnes. But that will be probably for my birthday when we'll film it, so I have an excuse to buy a bunch of expensive champagne. Maybe Valentine's Day, that could work too. We'll figure something out. In the meantime, enough chit chat. Let's drink. Cheers
Cheers.
to 2021. Ooh. So right off the bat, it's the mouthfeel on this is crazy. It's very creamy. It's very delicate and soft and almost floral.
I didn't realize this, but this whole meal is pretty French. Mom made us mini quiches, and we have croissant.
We have a croissant and some champagne.
Quiche.
And quiche. Let me curl my mustache.
The only thing that's not is this ginger reserve.
And we have the ginger.
The ginger.
We have the ginger. Going to add a little Eastern flavor. This is the
Really good,
stereotypical red. Okay. So one of the things that I heard about champagne, and I've had champagne before, but never like, this is good champagne. This is
very good.
This is good champagne. One of the ways you can tell is the bubbles. It's a lot more carbonated than even like classic brut sparkling wine. Obviously, as you watch it explode in my face. But when you take a sip of this, you can feel the bubbles kind of like dissipate on your tongue, and it has this really crazy, almost like foamy mouthfeel. Are you getting that?
Not currently. Let me finish my mini quiche and I'll try it again.
It feels like I drink liquid, and it feels like it becomes foam. Like those little, those pumps that you like foaming hand sanitizer, and it's like liquid inside, and you squeeze it and it becomes foam. That's what it feels like is happening in my mouth right now. Which is really an extraordinary experience. It's super strange.
Price range for good champagne.
Good question, Trevor. The price range for good champagne. So,
I get that.
You see what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
So you
can, my tongue feels excited.
Yeah, exactly. So you can get champagne pretty cheap. But I would say that to get good champagne, I'll tell you this. So when I went to the store, when I went to Vine and Table, this was not the first champagne he recommended me. The first one was a little cheaper. And he basically said, like, for people who don't really know much about champagne, this is sort of a good starter champagne. It's good and not like, okay, like this is actually going to be good. And that one was $35, I think, for a bottle. Which I think a lot of people that aren't used to whiskey prices would balk at. People are going to be like, you're going to spend $35 on a bottle of champagne? That's crazy. And it's like, well,
you do drink champagne much faster than you do a bottle of whiskey, though.
You do, but at the same time, it's like when you've bought a $100 bottle of whiskey, a $30 bottle of champagne doesn't feel as crazy. This particular bottle, I believe, was $50 pre-tax. I've seen it online for between $40 and $50, but it's not around very many places because only 5% of the champagne that's imported into the United States is grower champagne, which makes sense. I mean, it's a kind of a one-off product. It's hard to get your hands on. It's very customized and bespoke based on the estate where it's being grown, or the family cooperative, or just the family farm, which is basically what this is. This is basically a family farm. But one of the things I kind of want to highlight for this video is champagne is often sort of seen as this I guess I would say people think of it as like fancy and high class, and I think it's kind of the same problem I've seen people have with whiskey. It's that they hear people give these reviews and they go, oh, I could never pick up all that on the palate. I couldn't enjoy that right. And it's like, well, just because you can pick out all these fancy notes doesn't mean you're actually enjoying it any more or less than somebody else. In fact, a lot of times reviewers are enjoying the product less because they can't get out of their own head. They can't sit there and just experience the product. They're too busy trying to pull out all those individual notes, and they can't really get the good enjoyment out of it. But, I found a lot of different descriptions of this wine, a lot of different reviews. I really wish I could find the one. There was one in particular that was just, the pretentious level was extraordinary, and it made me laugh really hard. because at the end of the day, it's meant to be enjoyed. It's a champagne that should be drank over, a very French, except for the ginger preserved breakfast, and enjoyed with somebody you love, like I'm doing right now. And just because you can name fancy words doesn't mean you're enjoying it any more than somebody else. The idea that these things are elite or exclusive, accepting the price, I understand the price is not super accessible to everybody, but I know a lot of people that are very willing to spend $100 on a fancy dinner out. That is something a lot of people are doing, that maybe even people that shouldn't be doing it. But if you're willing to spend $100 on a fancy meal out, you could dang sure spend $50 on a nice bottle of champagne, $25 on some really nice steaks, and make a less than $100 dinner at home that is as good or not, if not better.
Depends how much butter you use.
It does depend on how much butter you use. Use more butter. Your average restaurant meal at a fancy place like that uses an entire stick for your meal. So remember that. So let me give you some notes on this. I think there's some fun ones out here. So it's interesting. This is kind of fun. I didn't realize this. So Dom Perignon, classic champagne. Dom. People know Dom. Dom Perignon is actually also a white champagne made from red grapes. He was actually the person who pioneered the technique of using Pinot Noir grapes to make white champagne in the 1600s. And it was in the region where this wine comes from, which I can't help but want to say it as boozy. It's below the cursive Abouzy.
The region would be called Champagne.
Well, it's the town in the region. The town of Boozy.
So you bought boozy champagne.
I bought boozy champagne. Because I'm bougie and boozy and drinking bougie. Anyway, so the style of this kind of white grape, or red grape, or black grape is what they call it, Pinot Noir, it's black. Black grape making white champagne fell out of favor in the 70s, but these people are kind of bringing it back. It was actually the grandson of one of the developers of this estate. So this estate started making this kind of champagne around 1900, and the grandson of the person who first started making this product brought it back relatively recently because he was astounded by the color, freshness, and lovely aromas. Like I said, 100% Pinot Noir, lightly pressed, aged 3 years before its release. Now, I'll try to give you some notes, but I want to read you some of the notes from other people because I think this is a good example of helpful wine notes. And then I'll see if I can't find one that's unhelpful. Helpful wine notes. This is from Vinous, Vinous. 93. The salmon-colored wine is another utterly delicious champagne from Vassel. Dried rose petals, orange zest, white pepper, and mint give it much of its high-toned aromatics, but there's plenty of depth to the body as well. Deceptively medium in body, the Eau de Perdue possesses striking finesse and exceptional overall balance. It's an old-fashioned style of Blanc de Noir, which is the black grapes making white wine, with just a touch of color from a short period of skin pressing at contact. Yeah, it's slightly darker than your average champagne. I think that's helpful because it tells you a lot of information. It tells you the body is going to be a little bit probably heavier than you'd imagine, which I think is true. It does not drink as light as a lot of champagne. I definitely can get some of those notes on the nose. I definitely get rose petals and orange. I don't get as much white pepper.
It's on the finish.
You think it's in the palate?
Mm-hmm.
That's such a crazy experience to drink. It gets so creamy. That's just crazy to me.
But the white pepper's on the finish.
Yeah, I can see that. It does get a little peppery on the finish. But it's, the thing I really like about this, it happens. The thing I really like about this, though, honestly, is if you don't choke on it, the experience is so smooth and delicate. You get a little bit of citrus, you get a little bit of the sweetness of the grape, but it's very subtle. And then you get this very creamy, almost foamy feeling in the mouth, which is really fun. And it's dry, but it's not unpleasant. It's very delicate. I think what's standing out to me is a lot of the reviews I've read of champagnes don't focus a lot on the taste. They focus a lot on mouthfeel and the experience of drinking it. And I think part of that is because there's not a lot of flavor per se. It's not like a whiskey where it's just going to hit you in the face with this big, bold flavor. It's very delicate and gentle and subtle. And so, you can sit there and spend a lot of time with it and dig out a bunch of notes, I'm sure. But for the average drinker, I think a review that's going to be more helpful is going to talk about the experience of drinking it.
It does feel heavier than most champagne.
Do you ever find that tasting notes can keep you from buying a product? Let's say you don't like black licorice and they taste it, so you don't buy it. Good question, Trevor. I think that has happened to me. It definitely is one of those things where I don't really rely on any one person's notes. If one person says this thing's got, I'll use one that I know. I mean, black licorice, anise. That's take it or leave it for a lot of people. For me, if I see something that talks about the astringent oakiness, that's sort of a red flag. I do not like astringent oak. I like a little bit of oakiness, but I don't like the astringency of oak. If I get a reviewer that says they taste that, I go look at others and then see if there's some confirmation. And if you start seeing 3 or 4, there's dozens of people reviewing whiskey out there. Dozens doing it written, dozens doing it in video. If there are 3 or 4 that I know and trust that say this has a astringent oak or it's really strong oak or something like that, that can keep me away from it. But I try to never let one reviewer influence me either way, just because I don't always know if I believe their palate or if I believe my own palate. It's one of those things where the trust of yourself and of others is an important component to figuring out what you're getting at. So, I know, for a good example, Trevor was the one who asked that question. Thank you for the questions, Trevor. I appreciate it. I know what Trevor likes. And I've drank with him. I've had several bottles with him. I've talked about whiskeys with him several times. That's something I haven't been able to do with a whole lot of these reviewers. So if you ask me about somebody like Dan Kidd at Heavy Bourbon on Instagram, I know what he likes too, because I've drank with him. I've talked with him about whiskeys before. But somebody like Mash and Dram or Mash and Drum. I always want to say Mash and Dram because I think of a dram of whiskey, even though it's Mash and Drum because he's a drummer. Anyway, Mash and Drum. Jason over there, I've watched his stuff, but I don't feel like I have a good sense of his palate yet. I'll be very curious to see what he gets from the tasting kit I sent him. We might find out a lot more about his palate from that. Good question.
Your connection is unstable.
All right, I'm gonna go in on one of these.
They're ham and cheese quiches. They're so good.
That's pretty solid.
I don't want to know how much cheese is in them.
Do you like champagne?
Mm-hmm. Champagne is very good. But I'm having trouble. I was eyeing the entire plate of quiches. Like, I was desperately waiting for you to eat some so that I could go in for another one.
I knew you were. That's why I took one, because you were eyeing it so hard.
The champagne, it feels heavier than most champagne.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, all right. That's how our day is going. I mean, I should have guessed since we're streaming with alcohol at 11:30 in the morning. All right. Cheers.
Happy New Year.
There's 2 more quiches in the kitchen. Just
okay. Well, and I tell you what, this really pairs well with food. The nice thing about the quiches is, although there's a lot of cheese on them,
they're pretty light.
Yeah, they're relatively light flavors.
Eggs.
It's light ham. It's eggs.
And there's no crust. She didn't put a crust on it.
And no crust on it. So it really brings out some of the To me, it brings out almost like a grain or a floral quality, maybe like hops, like a grain and floral quality from the champagne. That's pretty cool. So yeah, like don't be afraid to pair things with food. I'm actually going to go in on one of these croissant because I think might be an interesting pairing as well. Just put this big hunk of butter right on top.
Just make a croissant sandwich.
Make a croissant sandwich.
Who are you, Burger King?
Shout out Burger King. I'm gonna smush this thing. I'm going real French. You have to talk while I'm eating.
I'm not good at that. Here.
No, I don't want that.
It works
I'm
well,
doing
though.
a test, though.
Okay. Well, I didn't expect to have 2 full glasses of champagne for breakfast, but it's definitely helping, the hangover. I drank way too much vodka last night.
And you chugged whiskey.
That's why I'm hungover.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. I woke up and I was like, vodka doesn't normally make me feel like this. Why am I drinking a gallon of water?
Check out my Instagram for more.
Stupid plantains.
All right, so butter and bread. How's it pair?
Oh, good to see you too, Trevor. I missed that comment earlier.
Oh man, that's so interesting. So the quiche. So before we put in anything, it was kind of hard to pull out anything. But before I ate anything, rather, it was kind of hard to pull out other flavors with the champagne. Drink Pro sponsored by Burger King. Yeah, right. I would accept that sponsorship if they wanted to.
He eats so much Burger King.
I don't eat that much Burger King, but I could. But I could. Anyway, before I ate anything and drank the champagne, it was very je ne sais quoi. What is the word? Je ne sais quoi is a great phrase. It basically means like something that can't be explained, which is very French. It had the fruitiness, it had the sweetness.
It didn't speak to you.
Yeah, it didn't speak to me. No, I actually liked it a lot when it was without any food. It had this sort of nice sweet fruitiness, very interesting, classic bubbly mouthfeel. Did have a little bit of the pepper on the finish, a little bit of floral notes. Very good, very delicate drink. But I'm surprised how much, and you talked about it being a little heavier than a standard champagne. I think that's really important because it's standing up to this food incredibly well. And I don't think a lot of champagne does. When I looked it up, the recommended food to pair with this is like white fish. But I think you could do this with seafood, honestly. Like you could pair this with shrimp, which is a little bit more robust of a flavor than like, a pollock or something. So, but what I was getting at was not only does it hold the food accentuates different elements of the profile. So
ginger makes it more floral.
Does it? Well, that would be my next experiment, but it sounds like the ginger makes it more floral. Just bread and butter, it almost brings out this sort of bitter tannic quality from the wine. And the eggy, hammy, cheesy quiche. What whiskey was Yolanda chugging? She was chugging Blanton's. The eggy, cheesy, hammy quiche. I don't even remember what that brought out now. What did that bring out? Let's find out. I'm sure I already said it, but what the hell? It's a good.
No tasting notes on the quiche.
Tastes like ham and egg and cheese. Okay. I gotta get used to this. Yeah, it brings out that. I mentioned this. It was the grainy note. It brings out this almost like grain forward, herbal quality. Now we're gonna. Oh! I got the ginger on the notebook.
Well,
now you really do need to talk while I'm chewing.
Sorry, I'm just so used to you just talking all the time, even if you're chewing. He doesn't stop. This doesn't turn off when the live stream is done. He just keeps going.
I'm usually singing.
Oh, yeah, he sings about everything. Usually chores that he doesn't do. Jokes. He does do the dishes.
Oh. I almost get like this interesting like currant or like grape skin note. That's really interesting. There's a very unique.
Here, give me your finger.
What?
Ginger.
Ginger. Yeah, because that is a ginger preserve, the sweetness kind of offsets the sweetness of the champagne, which there isn't very much of already. Ooh, now it smells like roses. I'm getting that roses now. Mm-hmm.
When did you become like a like drag queen? Oh, I'm getting those roses now.
You already make fun of me for being so feminine. I can't help but stand in a very feminine way. I usually stand with my hand on my hip, and she makes fun of me for it.
Yesterday I wasn't making fun of you for your hand on your hip. You had your one hip cocked.
You just wow, that was cocked very strongly because everything just shook.
Well, you got some wide hips too.
Can't imagine why.
Certainly not the quiche and the champagne. Do you want me to go heat up the other quiches?
No.
She also gave us oranges. Would you like me to go cut up an orange to add to this feast?
Yeah. That could be an interesting comparison. So I'm a little sad about how much of this whiskey was lost to the table. Champagne. I'm a little bit sad about how much of this champagne was lost to the table, but I feel like that was a wonderful video moment. I'm definitely going to go back and pull that and screen cap it, throw it up somewhere because holy crap, that scared the hell out of me. Trevor says, do I cross my legs when I sit? That's an interesting one because, Trevor, that's actually something that's very French. A lot of Europeans, and the French in particular, cross their legs when they sit, men and women. And they cross their legs differently. So I've had my legs crossed right now, but the way they're crossed, just because you said it, the way they're crossed is I have my ankle of my left foot basically resting on my right knee, kind of like a little, kind of like that shape. And then this is my right foot like that. Yeah, not like that, which is how people think about women crossing their legs in the United States. But this is how most European men cross their legs. Interesting cultural differences.
Do you want to talk about how much I stuck out like a sore thumb in Amsterdam?
Oh yeah, when we were in Amsterdam, Yolanda, I felt kind of short, and I'm not a short man.
But you fit in with the crowd.
Except for my blondness.
There were a lot of blondes.
Well, in Amsterdam, there were lots of tall people, and Yolanda is this little short, half Mexican woman. She stood out. She stood out in the crowd. Well, you had to be able to find her, but
the average height felt like 6'3".
It was meaningfully taller than the average height here, I think. It certainly seemed that way at the very least.
Everyone was like athletically built and like tall. And I'm this curvy little Latina walking around taking twice as many steps as everyone else.
Okay. Orange. Let's test it. What? Honestly, that's my favorite pairing yet. Wow, that is.
Does that mean it would make a good mimosa?
You should probably, but you should do that. Eat an orange and then taste it, because like I expected it to counteract the sweetness and to counteract any of the fruitiness, but it doesn't. It complements it. So I get like this beautiful, sweet, fruity component from the champagne. Oh wow, that's just fantastic. We lost like $20 of champagne.
Do you want to keep pairing it with things?
No, I'm almost out. I promised updates on this stream, and I need to give you some. So here we go. Let me find my. Okay, I'm gonna turn my wet pages to get to the update.
I wish we had an overhead cam.
Yeah,
because this is pretty funny.
Maybe that's a 2021 investment, is an overhead cam.
For the live stream, can you do multiple cameras?
Yeah, Trevor said, "Oh, you felt short. The people must have been giants." Yeah, they were. I would say there were a lot of people that were 6'5". Like that's the right number, because they were like between 2 and 3 inches before. Well, yeah, I don't know what the average is on paper, but in practice, it was like 6'5". They felt humongous, and they were all really relatively thin. You know, Trevor and myself are a little bit stockier. I think I'm more than stocky, but regardless, like a lot of Americans are kind of stocky built. It's that like Midwest born bred, corn fed kind of thing. These people were rails. They were tall rails.
Interesting. There are short people because they've skewed the numbers.
5'8", which is still pretty damn tall for your average. I think the average American's like 5'6" or 5'7".
I can look that up.
But I already talked about the balance of content changing a little bit. Let me talk about the upload schedule changing. So like I said before, for people that might be new to the stream, I'm going to be doing one whiskey video, probably stick pretty close to bourbon on that one. Very classic bourbon video. And then a second video, which might be a more exotic whiskey. It might be a different kind of spirit. It might be, wine or beer. Oh, wow. Okay.
Actually, no, the Netherlands is an inch shorter.
Yeah, it is. That's surprising. But the whole point of this is basically cross-pollination. I'm going to get whiskey people trying other things. I want people that like other things to try whiskey. We can all get along, and there's a lot of good spirits out there that we should all enjoy, and we shouldn't feel pigeonholed by any one. And part of this, honestly, is being motivated by the bourbon boom. Bourbon is blowing up so hard. I love this. Trevor is pumping the Patreon. Kyle needs to regain the money from the spilled champagne. Join the Patreon, www.patreon.com/thedrinkpro. Thank you, Trevor, for pumping the Patreon. Much appreciated, my brother. But yeah, so we're going to do one whiskey video, mostly bourbon, one other video, something else. And generally probably talk about how it relates back to whiskey in some ways, and then a live stream. So still doing 3 videos a week. We're just making one of those videos a little bit more flexible. I've got a lot of interest in coffee. That's something that a lot of people have wanted to see me do videos on.
Live streams aren't necessarily all going to be whiskey either.
No, that's true. The live streams will vary. Right now, for example, we're doing most of this live stream is going to be on this champagne. But I want to talk about the schedule too, because right now I've been doing basically Wednesday, Friday, Sunday for my videos. So the live streams are going to be Thursday nights. Thursday night live. Yolanda's just now hearing about this.
Yeah, last I heard it was going to be on a Saturday.
Thursday night live.
So you're going to get drunky pants on a Thursday. Sure, you're going to get lots of work done that Friday morning.
Thursday is the live stream. And then I'm going to upload my videos on for standard consumption. They're going to go live on Tuesdays and Fridays. So Tuesday video, Thursday live stream, Friday video. Now, if you're in the Patreon, which Trevor so kindly referenced, these is all going to come out a little bit different. You're going to get your first video on Monday, and your second video actually 2 days early on the Wednesday. Part of this is just for my own sanity and scheduling. I feel like this is going to be the most easy way for me to be able to make this content with a quick turnaround if I need to for, new releases or what have you. And, still make quality content and keep structure in my life, which I value very highly. It makes my life a lot easier.
So on a Thursday, are the streams going to be as late?
I haven't sorted that out yet. I think it'll probably be 8 o'clock. So it'll either be 8 or 9 o'clock, I would say, for the streams. I think in the past I'd done pretty much 9 o'clock on Sundays, and then I kind of kicked it back to 8 o'clock sometimes. But it's really going to be exactly, Trevor, Thirsty Thursdays with the Drink Pro. We'll see. We'll see how it goes.
You didn't think to bring this up in our meeting like 2 days ago?
I thought about it in a dream last night, and that's not a joke.
Well, I guess having the bed to yourself does wonders.
We had a fun night. Hold on, I gotta play something.
Oh God!
Can you entertain the people?
I'm eating. How am I supposed to entertain the people while trying to chew? Oh wait, that's what you do. I'm a poet and I didn't know it. So hi people, there are 4 of you. I hope you guys had a good evening. I hope you didn't drink as much as we did. Apparently I chugged Blanton's. Well, I didn't chug it as much as I got a mouthful and then just said I couldn't do it
I mean,
anymore.
she took a proper big pull. I was impressed.
It was a lot. Go check out the Drink Pro Instagram if you're interested in seeing me make mistakes.
So I'm gonna go ahead and say
I'll only do 30 seconds.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do much of this because I know that there's. But I love the first line of this song. Looks like I got on a championship ring. Okay, that's all I wanted. The first line of that song is "Pop Bottles" by Birdman and Lil Wayne. Is okay, we popping champagne like we won a championship game. And I'm definitely going to loop that over this destruction. Yeah, Eli Spears. It was legit, my man. I don't know if you saw it on the Instagram, but it's actually on Facebook as well because I cross-posted it.
I don't drink whiskey.
No, she doesn't
I'm strictly a vodka gal.
And she went for it, so it was impressive.
Yeah, I went hard and it was a mistake.
What was that?
Did you just shove the whole thing in your mouth?
Mm-hmm.
LOL, Kyle always puts Yolanda on the spot. Always! Every single stream, every single time that I'm invited to join these streams, he's just like, entertain the people. I have to go do this stuff. It's like, okay. You finished it. You drank all that you remained in the bottle. For those of you just now joining us, Kyle exploded the champagne bottle almost as soon as the stream started. Literally, like 5 minutes in. These things, you put them on the champagne, it keeps the cap on, I get it. But I've never had one that was like really, really freaking important. This one was necessary because as soon as I got this thing unscrewed, boom, the whole thing with this on it shot up. Oh, that's pretty. Oh, no, it was not a saber job. I didn't need a saber. As soon as I got this thing unscrewed, everything launched out of the champagne bottle, poured all over the table, all over my notes. Oh, yeah, like the first 60 pages of his notebook are just all over my checklist. Soaked. My checklist is dripping. So after the stream, I'm going to rewrite all of it. But, that's what we do. We do it for the people. So, cheers. Happy New Year. Cheers. We're not done yet. I just wanted to do a cheers because I'm almost done with these. Be almost done with these. You don't have any Glencairns. What are you going to drink your whiskey out of? Oh, I missed the giant box of them. We need to get you a better storing system. Boxes work great. They're square. Which one do you want first? I'm just going to order some of these from my original supplier because the current supplier is just not being cooperative. Which is disappointing because of so many things. They came as a personal recommendation from a fellow whiskey content creator. Didn't go great. Didn't you pay more to get them rushed for Christmas? I did. C'est la vie. We will get more of these ordered this week. I'll say this. This week we're getting more of these Glens in. Or I'm going to order more of these Glens. I don't know when they'll come in, but I'm going to order more of these Glens this week. And then... Don't we have some coming?
Yeah, but who knows where the hell they are?
They're on some ship on the Atlantic.
Maybe it capsized or something. I don't know.
Which bottle do you want?
Well,
I was going to hand it to you, so you didn't have to reach over me. Yeah, if you missed the champagne mishap, you need to watch the replay after the live stream. It was epic.
It was pretty epic. I can't lie. The champagne was a quite a thing.
I think at the time Trevor was the only one watching.
No, I think Nate was there too. I think there are 2 or 3 people. I know Nate's here. He's just unable to chat. This is Old Fitzgerald Bottled and Bond 14-year whiskey. Now, part of the reason I'm doing this one is because I won this in a right to buy raffle from Vine and Table. Shout out Joseph.
Because he didn't get enough shout outs
that's where I got this from.
And he was his sommelier.
He's been good to me. I mean, he always takes care of me, you know, and done some fun things with him. I did that store pick new riff with him. I like Joseph, and I think he likes me, and that's connections are what make this more fun. I look forward to doing more things in person with all of you.
Yeah, he told me when you entered that contest for the Fitzgerald, he was like, "I'll just be like 10 minutes." And that was 45 minutes. Me just sitting in the car because he walked in there.
Okay. Now, first off, I did not say it was going to be 10 minutes. I even said, like, are you sure you just want to wait in the car? Because it's going to be a bit.
Well, I had the dog. I had to wait in the car. I didn't get a choice.
It wasn't that cold. We could let the dog in the car.
It was cold enough.
Anyway, point is, oh, man, you should have seen Sean's face. It's because I told Sean, I was like, oh, I got to go. Yolanda's in the car. He went, Yolanda's in the car? Needless to say, I was in the doghouse on that one. And I can't say it wasn't for good reason. I deserved it.
I made him stop at McDonald's so I could get an ice cream.
That's right. And then I peed in their bathroom. This is Old Fitzgerald 14-year Bottled and Bond.
The point of the story was about connections, and you completely railroaded over my story. You put me on the spot when I don't have stories, and then when I have stories, you don't let me talk.
Okay. Tell your story while I pour this wonderful decanter of 100 proof Bottled and Bond 14-year-old weeded Fitzgerald whiskey.
So he told me he wasn't going to be very long because he just needed to run in and get something. And then apparently there were like 4 people in there that he knew, and they were doing tastings. And so while I'm sitting in the car with the dog that desperately needs to go to the restroom and won't do it outside the Vine and Table, Kyle's in there just drinking whiskey.
I consider it making connections.
See, that's the point.
Everyone left. They heard me talk about peeing in the restroom. They all left. That's fine.
I mean, you're the one that said it.
No, I appreciate every single one of my viewers. I got 4 people in the stream right now, and I appreciate every single one of you. I really do. I'm not surprised that it's a relatively low viewership today, only because it's been a minute since I've made any content. I haven't streamed a video in a long time. My last video post was Christmas. But, you know, on Monday for the patrons, Tuesday for the average viewer, you're going to get some new content, and it's going to kick back off. We're getting back into the cycle, so be ready. Yolanda and I'll figure out something for the next stream. But
I'm now just on the streams. Is that something you guys want?
Yeah, do you want Yolanda always on the streams?
Or is Kyle entertaining by himself?
Let us know in the comments.
Because I feel like your viewership proves you're entertaining by yourself.
Let us know in the comments. So I'll tell you what, this is way woodier on the nose. I think just because I had that bottle of champagne.
Half a bottle of champagne.
Yeah, well, a third of a bottle after a third of it spilled. The angels took a third of the bottle, and Yolanda and I each got the other third. You know what we should have done? We should have scraped that into a glass. We could have done that.
Ew. I don't know the last time we cleaned this table, and it becomes our dropping ground every time we walk in the door. Merry COVID Christmas.
Oh, God.
You're gross.
Yeah, this thing is incredibly. It's beautifully sweet brown
Drinking
sugar.
and chatting at the liquor store, that's the norm. You should know by now, Yolanda. Going to the store with Kyle, you might.
Thank you, Trevor. That's exactly what I said. Like I warned her a couple times. I'm like, I'm probably gonna be in there for a minute. At least twice. I at least warned you before we left the house.
Well, but we left to go do something else. Like the Vine and Table store was not.
Trevor wants you to always be on.
Oh God.
He says yes. Yolanda makes it better. We have fun banter. Because otherwise, I'm just shouting into the void, and that can get dark. But yeah, this is beautiful caramel, brown sugar, lots of oakiness. But the oakiness isn't astringent, it's not sharp, it's not overpowering. Do you want some of this? Do you want to get a glass that you can enjoy this out of and try it? She has unpleasant experiences with Glencairns. Trevor says we both play off each other well and make it very entertaining. Thanks, Trevor.
I guess I used all the rock spots.
Oh, we've got plenty more.
I'll just use my used succulent glass. Oh, mug. I'll be real classy. Here, I brought you this in case you wanted it.
I don't, but thank you.
Just a drop. I don't want more than that. That was more than a drop.
You need more than a drop to get a proper taste of it. That's enough for a proper taste.
Ooh, it smells like caramel.
Yeah, it's super caramelly.
That's all I smell, like caramel corn.
Yeah, caramel corn. Do you get any cinnamon? I get like cinnamon on this. Like a light cinnamon.
I think yes, but I think you influenced that.
That can happen.
Because now that's all I smell.
Yeah. I mean, I get a little bit of like almost a floral note too. I don't have a whiskey wheel in front of me.
Do you want me to go get it?
Nah.
Since I get sent on errands during these streams. That's the real reason everyone wants me, so that I can go get him shit in the middle of the stream.
Did you show the camera that glass?
It's hard to see on camera, but it says you succulent.
Here, let me put it close and see if that'll help.
No, it's too shiny. They're just
there,
seeing
you can
the
see it when I
camera.
do that. When I go like that, you succulent. Hey.
Shout out
this is
Playhouse. Oh shit, I don't know her the full name.
Oh no! Oh no, go look it up.
Playhouse.
You can't start the shout out and not finish it.
I know I'm terrible.
No!
I'm terrible. Crystal, I love you.
It's Crystal at Clayhouse.
Something. Playhouse something.
I
I'm looking.
held my breath for so long.
Playhouse Company.
Clayhouse. Oh, that's what.
I couldn't remember if it was.
You couldn't remember company?
I thought it was studio, but I wasn't sure.
I almost passed out because I wasn't breathing. Oh boy. Trevor says that 14 Fitz was way better than my 9. 9 was way too farmy.
Ew.
Maybe grain forward to me. You know I like oak. Yeah, and I tried 100 times to get you to sell me that 9-year, Trevor, because I tried it at Joe's Bar and Grill here in Fishers in Indiana, and I loved it, and you wouldn't sell it to me.
Now all I smell is wood.
Yeah. Yeah, once it sits for a minute, you get this nice, like, dry oak.
You need pieces of wood. You need to do a smelling stream like you did with the herbs.
I do. I want to do one with wood, with a bunch of different types of wood, like oak and pine and
where
cedar.
Are we going to find that? How are we going to source that?
Good question. I'm sure there's a wood shop around here somewhere that has like scraps that they'd give us for next to nothing.
Shout out to any woodworkers. We need your help.
All right, let's give it a taste. Cheers.
Yeah. It tastes like rubbing alcohol.
I don't get rubbing alcohol.
Where's your fancy dropper? I probably need to water this down.
It's up and away, but what you can grab is on top of my whiskey shelf. There's the not fancy dropper that has water in it and it's ready to go. Spears. All right. Do you pronounce your name Eli or Ellie Spears? E-L-Y. I would say Eli. Eli Spears. I just picked up an old Fitz 11 in 15 years. Very nicely done, my man. That's awesome. I have not had the 11. I had the 15 and I liked it better than the 16, but it was my favorite only because it's very oaky, which isn't
on the floor, which was much easier.
But no, just get the water. Then you got to fill it up with water.
I can go get water.
Okay.
I'm already up.
How would you say E-L-Y? Would you say that Eli or Ellie?
I would say Eli.
That's what I would say. Eli Spears. So the first taste on this 14, the first taste on this 14 is very oaky. It's dry oak. It's very consistent throughout the palate. Not offensive, not problematic. It's just consistent, but it's not too interesting, frankly, either. The second taste, I get a little bit more sweetness, a little bit more of that baking spice. A lot of the elements that showed up on the nose show up on the palate, and that's pretty nice. All right. That astringency, that oakiness is starting to become more prominent. I'm getting some cinnamon, some bitter agents. Here, I'll show the people. So this was Yolanda's gift to me. This is a nice little set here. Angel Share. Shout out Angel Share Glass. It is a water dropper set. I'll show you the dropper here because it's got a little pot still on the top of it. That's fun. And it's got a little Glencairn. I don't know if this Glencairn is supposed to be for tasting or for holding water, but it only makes sense for us to put water in it because I always have all my branded Glencairns. And so I store it like this. And then when you need to get a tasting out of it, a little thumb hole, you just drop it in, hold the thumb hole, and you can add a couple of drops. I think
you just slowly release your thumb to get a drop. There you go.
There you go.
Ooh, now it smells like honey.
I might add a couple drops of water here in a bit, but this is relatively low proof. 50% is low for me. But that oakiness stays prominent, but it's not overpowering. It's not astringent. It's not too dry. It's just definitely oaky. And then you get the honey, the sweetness.
It tastes like I'm chewing on a piece of wood.
See, and that's what Trevor loves. Trevor loves that. Can we make a shirt that says something like chewing on a piece of wood? Because I feel like that's
a woodchuck.
Oh, that's great. Yeah.
I'm still working on the Corn Daddy one.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you can keep asking me for things, but you're just slowing me down. I'm still working on the Oreo one too. And if we're going to switch suppliers like we discussed,
yeah,
we're going to have to slow down on these shirt designs.
But I have so much creativity in my brain.
It's a sweet water dropper.
Yeah, it really is. It was a good gift.
He made a list of things for me to get him.
And then she bought like
and then I didn't buy any of them.
I, on the other hand, stuck pretty close to her list. You have to ask Yolanda for the deets on that.
I'll send you the link. There's a few different options on Amazon, but that one came from Scotland.
I don't know. It's worse with water. The water makes it more bitter to me, and the sweetness gets lost.
But it smells like honey.
I can't smell anything on that. I mean, I can see it does smell more like honey. You're right, but the flavor gets worse, and so like
the front of the palate, I get a honey taste, but then after that, it's just all wood, and I don't like that at all. But
yeah, I feel like the wood was more subtle. I'm actually Trevor, because I know Trevor has this. I'm very curious, Trevor. You should do this with the old Fitzgerald 14-year bottled and bond. Try a couple sips of it, and then add 4 or 5 drops of water, and then try it again because you tend to like oakier pours. And so I really bet. Trevor says, "Come on, Yolanda, you're stalling on the Corn Daddy shirt. I'm waiting." LOL.
I drew him a sketch that he sent you.
I didn't send it to him. I showed it to him.
Oh, well, whatever. That was as far as I've gotten, but I've been on vacation
Yeah.
for 2 weeks, so I haven't. The only thing I've done was
We'll
in those 2 weeks was make him a thumbnail for today.
We'll get her whipped into shape.
Yeah, cue ball.
Next on our list, I'm just basically doing this so I can review the bottles I got during the raffles this year. I didn't get any BTAC or Pappy yet. There's still a chance. But this is my other raffle win. Not a huge win, but I was happy to be selected. The Rural Inn raffle. Rural Inn has a lot of mouths to feed when it comes to good whiskey. So being able to have a chance to get a bottle from them at all is pretty nice. They do tons of fun store picks. I am going to have a conversation with Joseph about it because I'm curious if Joseph is trying to be like competing with them in terms of like having all those store picks always on the shelves, because that's hard to do. Because they keep like 20 or 30 on the shelf. Like, it's crazy. Anyway, let's go ahead and drink the Elijah Craig 18. Now, this is 4 years older than the Old Fitzgerald, and it's not bottled in bond. It's at 45 proof, a little bit lower proof, a little bit older. And the barrel was this whiskey was bottled. It's a single barrel, I should say that too. The barrel was bottled 4/27/20, which don't think that's. Trying to remember when my parents' birthdays, I think, are the 23rd and the 27th.
Why can't you remember that? He can't remember my birthday either, and it's 5 days before his.
Well, I can't. Counting's hard, and I always count it wrong.
Can't you just subtract it?
27
minus 5.
I thought yours was the 22nd.
Yes.
Okay.
Are you putting in a calendar notification for yourself?
No, I already did that. I'm checking my parents, see if I did it for them. I didn't. I believe 4/27 is my dad's birthday. I think it's either that or 4/25.
Your mom is 4 days before your dad.
Right, and I couldn't remember if he was the 23rd or the 21st. Anywho, let's drink some of this.
For tax lawyer, you're bad at numbers.
Now, this is not a weeder.
Here.
But it's also from Heaven Hill. So these are the same company, ostensibly. But one is 4 years older, a little bit lower proof. Oh, now you talk about smelling honey. You smell that and tell me that doesn't smell like honey. That smells like honey to me.
I smell orange blossom.
I can smell orange, yeah, and then the floral note for sure. Yeah, I get that.
That's all I smell. I don't smell any honey.
I don't get orange blossom only because I get like orange and the floral note separately.
Oh, but it smells like an orange grove.
It does, for sure. It's very beautiful. Actually, I really like this.
You know
whiskey.
what? It smells like a honeysuckle.
Yeah, that's what I was. Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. Like the honey note for me is a floral honey. Trevor's gonna try that right now. Nate always says, I love chewing on an oak stave, but I have found that some of those heavy oak bourbons might be a tad bit bitter later on. Yeah.
Nate said that?
Nate said that Trevor liked chewing on an oak stave.
I was confused.
Oh, this is just a beautiful smell. What are you doing? Who are you chatting with?
I'm trying to figure out when I'm going to pick up my plant.
Oh, okay.
The lady responded today.
All right, let's go ahead and taste this. Cheers.
Oh. All I get is wood.
See, to me, this one is a little bit sweeter and nuttier. There's definitely oak. They're both very old, so they're both very oaky, but this one is sweeter and nuttier. So you prefer the Old Fitzgerald?
Yeah,
because you finished that one.
it was at least more complex than just.
See, and that's a good point, actually. I think I agree with you that the Old Fitzgerald is more complex, but I think the notes in the Elijah Craig are like more in my classic wheelhouse. I get this sweetness, I get this
I
nuttiness.
didn't get any of that. All I got was wood, and I don't want burnt wood in my mouth. Thanks.
Try out this glass.
It smells like acetate or acetone.
Well, well, I think that the notes. Oh, I just got like a creme brulee vibe.
It does taste a little bit better out of that glass, but the smell is so off-putting that I don't want anything to do with it.
Yeah, I'm getting like.
Maybe I should start tasting out of the tiny Glengarry.
It'd fit your tiny stature. Why are my sleeves so different?
Because this one's all.
It doesn't fix.
I don't know.
Is that just how I'm sitting, I guess?
There, it was caught in your armpit, you weirdo.
There we go. That's better.
Are you high or are you drunk? Oh, you know what? You're probably drunk.
I'm not high.
Well, but you're a lightweight when it comes to champagne.
We pop champagne like we won a championship game. Look like I got on a championship ring because I ball hard. No, bitch, we ball harder. I'm the Birdman. And I'm JR. You dig? Okay. I really like references that I'm going to make that no one will get. That really is a very good thing.
Are you the godfather of whiskey?
I'm going to tell you about a circumstance that may or may not arise in the future, where you will need to buy me some 18-year-old Elijah Craig whiskey.
No, thank you.
And if that does not arise, then so be it. But if that day does arise, I will expect your complete loyalty to the whiskey. Ah. You know what? I know why you get that burnt note. Because I get like burnt caramel, like creme brulee, burnt sugar, and then it immediately pivots into wood. And you're not getting as much of the sweetness, so you just get burnt and wood.
It's like a paragraph.
Trevor said he got more oak after adding the water, and it doesn't hit him quite right. I liked it without the water, more bitter oak and watered down. I feel the same way, Trevor. I feel like when you added water to the Old Fitz 14, the oakiness became more astringent and bitter and unpleasant. I got to agree.
You should try it in a wide mouth glass that way.
Okay.
I mean, it was just water.
Try this in a whitey boy.
Just don't pour yourself very much. It's quite large.
I get that caramel corn you mentioned. I don't get much else. It's very light, hard to smell.
You're supposed to be trying it with water, though.
Oh, there we go.
Don't get any boogers on it.
Okay.
You're supposed to be trying it with water.
Let's do both.
Okay.
Ooh, that was kind of cool. Made a different sound. My bougie glass. Hey, the champagnes aren't going to dry. I wish I had like 3 more bottles of that. That's fucking awesome. That was good champagne. That's worth. I mean, honestly.
I mean, you could have dropped less buying 3 bottles of that than dumb.
Honestly, no, they had it on good sale.
Dumb?
They had it for $140, I think.
So it was $20 off.
It's normally like $200.
Oh, I saw it online for $169.
Well, that's a good deal. So this is I recommend this. I really liked this. You have to like wine, I would say, because it's not going to be like super sweet and like something that a non-wine drinker. What are you looking at?
Nick.
That's the company who imported it into New York. So you have to actually like wine to like this. But if you like wine at all, if there's any champagne or any brut sparkling wine that you like, this is a buy, my friend. Wow. I don't know why, but like thinking about it now after drinking these whiskeys, it really like because these are, I'm drinking $150 whiskeys here. These are not cheap MSRP. Forget about what you get them on secondary. And this was $50 plus tax.
And he keeps thinking about it.
And I'm thinking about it. Like that means something. Yeah. Now, yes, this bottle is now gone, and these still have a lot left in them. Sure, I get it, but good stuff. I'm impressed. I may have to start a wine cellar. I didn't feel like my hobbies were expensive enough as it was. All right, let's taste the water added in the big wide mouth glass. Old Pitts 14. 14.
It's better.
It's less intrusive in the wide mouth. I still think I liked it better without adding any additives. I got on a rant and I don't remember.
That's a satisfying sound.
It is. It's better. That's super weird. I do think it does get better with water in a wide mouth glass because the harshness is tamped down a bit. But it's still the oakiness is still unpleasant. The oaky flavor is better without anything added to it. All right. Last but not least, and I'm really kind of doing this one for Trevor. This is for you, Trev. I'm gonna get fresh glass so I can really. No, I'm not. I'm just gonna rinse it out and pour water on myself. That seems appropriate with the current
state of affairs.
Some of you might wonder why when I take a drink, when I fill my Glencairn with water. Can you put that on mute?
Yep.
Thank you.
That's why I picked it up.
When I fill my Glencairn with water and I drink it, I kind of spin it like that. And my reasoning is I want to rinse out the entire glass. And doing that, make sure that the entire glass is touched with water before it's into my mouth, so that it's as rinsed as possible before the next whiskey is poured. We've lost all but two of you. I appreciate your loyalty. I assume that's Trevor and Nate. Last but not least, this is for Trevor. This is my Starlight Bourbon World pick. This Starlight is super impressive to me.
Trevor says interesting about your rinse.
Yeah,
cycle.
I saw that. So this whiskey is one that I had mentioned to Trevor. I offered to buy it, and he was a little. We had. I think I offered it after I'd already picked it up. So he was like, "Well, let me know if you think it would fit my palate." So we're gonna find out right now.
We're back to 3. Someone's connection just keeps dropping. Did you?
Yeah, I did. So this is now, and we're keep in mind we're comparing this to $50 champagne and to $150 bottles of whiskey, and this is a $42 bottle of whiskey.
Should I go get mellow corn and put in between them?
I mean, so it's a lot younger. First off, also this is 14 and 18 year. This is 4, which is why you smell the corn so much stronger. It definitely has a corn note on the nose. I get ginger. I get gingerbread, which is ginger, cinnamon, sugar, and corn. The smell, just trade and smell. Man, I just get nothing on this.
This smells like corn dust.
This just smells like nothing.
Well, yours smells like corn dust. Like dusty corn at the end of harvest. It's dry and gross.
The harvest. If this reminds Trevor of the harvest, he's going to get like Vietnam style flashbacks. Like, no, don't let me drink the harvest. Okay. All right, let's do this. Let's try a little bit of this Starlight for your whiskey.
The taste is better than the smell.
That's fucking good. That stands up. I cannot believe how well that stands up to these older, way more expensive
I actually
bourbons.
think it's better.
Yeah, and she thinks it's better. Like wow.
It tastes like salted caramel corn.
I can see that for sure. Now the trick here, though, is that Trevor wanted to know if I should buy one for him, and Trevor likes the oakier flavors. But you like Trevor, you like the old 55, didn't you? I think Trevor liked the old 55, and like this is old 55 with less barnyardiness and more sweet baking spice.
I don't think I tried the old 55.
You want to grab it?
No.
Can you go grab it?
Those are different questions.
That's why I changed my phrasing. You've lived with a lawyer long enough to know. Grab the one that says. Grab the one that's the vine and table one, so we're consistent.
You made it hard to get to your whiskey in here.
Well, I need to do some work in there today. We'll see how that goes. Oh man. Trevor just said, "LOL, the harvest." Man, I tell you what, this Starlight, I don't know what it is, but I start drinking whiskey and I get my Southern comes out because I just started that sentence with, "Man, I tell you what," and I was not being ironic at all.
Move your leg.
My leg is where it's supposed to be. We need a more stable camera. This thing juts around all the time.
Because we're on a glass tabletop.
All right, so Trevor likes old 55, so let's compare this old 55. I'm actually going to break out another glass for this.
Can you just put it in there for me?
I can.
I'm not getting up again. Wowza. Okay. I don't think our day is going to be productive after this.
This is gonna be the best. There's nothing better than doing chores when you're a little tipsy. That is the way to do chores. I'm gonna put on some like jam music. Like, yeah, clean this house. Yeah.
Yeah, meanwhile, I'll just want to go to bed.
You
but
go to
I
bed.
slept on the couch.
You do your thing.
I don't like the smell of that. Now the Starlight smells amazing to me.
This is better than the old 55, and it's cheaper. I'm gonna get you a bottle of this, Trev. I'm gonna get you a bottle of this.
It sounds like you don't have any say in the matter.
It's you get a lot more baking spice. You get a little bit more oakiness.
It tastes like gingerbread.
Thank you. That's what I said right from the get-go. As soon as I open this bottle, I'm like, oh my God, it's gingerbread cookies. So I'm very happy to hear you say that because I think you're absolutely right. Gingerbread cookies, how can you go wrong? So I'll shoot you a bill, Trev.
Now you just have a running tab with Trevor.
Oh, we've had a running tab. He's got a whole case of whiskey in my closet. He got the TBE Starlight Pick 118.2, 4 grain. I really enjoy that. You're going to have to let me try that, Trev. I'm curious about that one, man. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like the old 55.
What happened
here.
there? What is going on?
I don't know. I don't question messes you make.
I didn't. You made that mess.
That was old 55.
So was this one.
Okay.
Oh, boy. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling good.
Yeah, because you're piling all of this on top of a third a bottle of champagne, and you're a lightweight when it comes to champagne.
Feeling good. Like I should.
2 New Years ago, so not last year.
Story time.
Yep, that's all. That's why I'm here, to tell them all the intimate details of your life.
Tell them all my intimacies.
Oh God. Anyway, we got like through one bottle of champagne, and then he was drunk. We got like halfway through the next one, and he went to bed at like 9 or 10 o'clock. Yeah, you didn't make it to New Year's because at New Year's, I was drinking the last bottle of champagne by myself on your couch because we didn't live together yet. You'd gone to bed.
So here's how it really went down is we started drinking champagne at like 8:30
We had 3 bottles of it.
or
though.
9, and we had 3 bottles of it.
Well, sparkling wine.
Yeah, this wasn't. We went fancy this year. Yeah, you'll like the Starlight, Trev. So we had 3 bottles of sparkling wine, and we started drinking at about like 8:30 or 9. We drank 2 bottles very fast over like the period of an hour. We popped open the third one. I probably had a half of a glass in the third one. I was like, I'm done. I'm done. She's like, okay, I'll finish it. I'm like, no, I'm done. And I went to bed. And I was probably 11 o'clock.
We didn't get through both bottles before you went to bed.
Yes, we did.
No, we didn't.
I helped pop the third bottle. I remember doing it.
Lying to you.
He's lying to you.
He went to bed at like 9 or 10. But I also went to Stories by Yolanda segment in the Drink Pro Live. I like it. Well, I'll admit that I went to bed at like 10 o'clock last year.
Yeah, but you were ill.
I was ill. We didn't drink at all last year. Well, you probably did by yourself.
Oh yeah, I did.
That was the Lost Croissant, and you didn't
was
even.
it really?
Yeah. You're just gonna put a tab of butter in your mouth? This is the real reason people come to the stream, to see you be ridiculous and drunk. Don't put that back in there.
I'm not. Yeah, we don't pace ourselves well.
I'm fine.
You weren't laughing.
I was not fine last night. But I got up with him and just started drinking. You good? Do you need an orange slice to fill the remaining gaps in your mouth? That's yours now. Yeah, I was ill, and then all I wanted was bacon wrapped everything.
This smells good. Smell it.
It smells like champagne.
Yeah, it does. All right, guys.
You don't want to just make it rounded out to 130?
I mean, we could. Do you have anything else to add?
No. You're the one that just shoved an entire croissant in your mouth. Kyle and eating during lives always are entertaining.
Trying to think if there's any other notes that I should mention. I already mentioned that the videos are going to start coming out for patrons Monday. What did I say? Monday, Wednesday, and then Thursday live. And then for the regular viewer, Tuesday, Thursday live, and then Friday for the second video.
Some of these notes are very interesting. He has one that just says, "Get my face on it."
You'll know what that means when you look at our thumbnails. The Patreon benefits will probably change here in the near future. I will probably be adding a discount for yearly subscriptions. I want to add a discount for merch, which is going to change how the levels, the benefits on some of the levels, because I think a discount for merch is a good benefit. So I'm working on a design for a coin. I know challenge coins are hot right now. I'm going to probably put one of those together. That's being designed right now.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is that your way of informing a designer? Oh, by the way, on this live stream, I'm going to let you know you have more work to do. That's been the entire stream. Thanks for this company meeting. I really enjoyed it with the 3 other people.
Yep.
Are they silent partners now?
No, they need to. If they want to buy into the company, the shares are very expensive.
Anyway.
No, actually, I mean, at least 1 or 2 of them are patrons, so they kind of are. They're like, they're in a way shareholders, except you don't own anything. Sorry.
Why are you apologizing to your notebook that you've already spilled a bottle of champagne on?
I was apologizing to the patrons for not owning stock in my company.
Oh. Well, for them to own stock, it would need to be a profitable company.
I'm losing so much money. It's not good. No, but seriously, like most companies, when they start up, they lose money. And although I've had lots of very generous patrons, I did lose money in 2020. But most of that startup cost, like it's expensive to get your software together, to get all the setups together. You know, there's a lot of business expenses.
Are we
So
still losing money on merch?
no,
That's good.
no, we're not losing money on merch anymore. Thankfully, I got that sorted out. Appreciate Trevor. Big hats off to Trevor for helping me sort that out. He got some very good discounts. Yeah, there's some cool Patreon stuff coming too, Trevor. Yeah, so I'm glad you mentioned that, Trevor. So I had talked in the past and done videos with, doing every Stag Junior ever. That's something I've kind of been doing. I'm going to be adding, on top of the videos that I'm doing, I'm going to keep doing the Sunday morning, unedited Drink Pro unedited videos. Yeah, exactly. Like that, Trevor. Like we were partners, don't know anything. So I'm gonna keep doing the Drink Pro unedited Sunday morning videos even after the Stag Junior line is complete and we do that analysis. So there's going to continue to be a lot more content. If you aren't on the Patreon, you're kidding yourself and thinking it's not a good value. Drink Pro, patreon.com/the Drink Pro. There's going to be weekly videos that are going up there. They're not going to be fancy and edited like my normal videos, but it's going to be real content. I'm going to do real reviews. That's what I've been doing with all my Stag Juniors. I'm going to keep doing it. Should be fun. So,
and you get occasional videos of me doing stupid stuff to Kyle.
Yeah, we have all kinds of fun up there. So consider joining. We're at 131.49, and I am feeling pretty good, and I'm out of whiskey to taste, and I'm out of bullet points to talk about. So I think we're going to call it a day. Happy New Year. Welcome to 2021. Let's make it better than last year. And you know what? I'm so happy. I've got 650 subscribers. Thank you guys so much for helping me grow this channel from nothing into something.
Can I do a PSA?
It only took since February 1st to get that done. So I'm really hoping to get to 1,000 by February 1st, 2021. If you can help me do that, it would be amazing. I'd love to make that happen. It would mean the world to me to be able to become a YouTube partner in 1 year's time. So if you can help me do that, please do.
Wear a mask.
Yeah, wear a mask. Mike has joined. Happy New Year, Mike Halliday. Thanks so much, my man. By the way, Mike, I'm still fighting with the post office about that package you sent me. We'll get that sorted out. Yeah, and yeah, wear a mask. I've got a Drink Pro mask. I've got one.
That's true.
Drinkpro.com. TheDrinkPro.com. I should be clear. The is in the name. Anyway.
Against my judgment.
Yeah.
Didn't listen.
I never do.
It's true.
All right. Happy New Year. Thanks so much. Cheers,
Happy New
everybody.
Year.
Keep drinking like professionals, and I will see you on Tuesday, January...
I don't know. Don't look at me. I didn't even know yesterday was the 31st.
January 5th. Tuesday, January 5th for the coming video.
Vacation brain over here.
The 4th for you patrons. All right. Cheers, guys.
Bye.